We are called to be ambassadors to Christ, but do you know exactly what that means? When an ambassador arrives at a nation, he doesn't come and try to change their rules and laws. Instead, he represents his kingdom and his king. We're not called to go places and tell people you have to do what Christians do. You need to act like Christians. You need to follow the Bible. Instead, we are called to be an ambassador of a different kingdom, the kingdom of heaven, not this kingdom that we live in. And by being an ambassador, it also means you represent your king everywhere you go. If you do something dumb, it's not just John Smith does something dumb. The headline reads, Christian does something dumb. It's very similar to when I was in the Marine Corps. You see, when I was a Marine, if I would have drove around drunk and got into an accident, it wouldn't have said, Michael Pagano drives drunk and gets into an accident. The headline would read, United States Marine drives drunk and gets into an accident. Because once I put on that uniform and donned that title, I represented the entirety of the Marine Corps. Likewise, when you take on his name and you don the title of Christian, you now represent him. So every time you're out here being rude and disrespectful and hateful, you represent him. You're not called to make people around you change. You're called to be the change that people want to emulate. You're called to be the change that people have to ask, how is this possible? What is this? I want to know what brings you this joy. And here's the cool thing. This is the commandment. Do not take the Lord's name in vain. A lot of people were taught in Sunday school that that commandment means don't say God. First and foremost, God is not his name. God is a title. The commandment, thou shalt not take the Lord's name in vain, has nothing to do with speaking his name. If you speak God's name inappropriately or in a rude way, that's a sin, but it's not that one. In the original Hebrew, the word being used there for take is to take hold of. So taking his name is just like when you get married and you take somebody's name. I mean, we are the bride of Christ. And by becoming the bride of Christ, we take on his name and his father becomes our father. Prior to Christianity, Israel had his name because they were the people of God. Now I want you to think, y'all know when your dad used to say to you, hey, when you go out there, you represent this family. You represent our name. That's what this commandment is about. You see, if you claim to be a Christian, if you take on his name and then you walk around acting like the world and doing things of the world, you have taken his name in vain. So I call you today to think about that every day. You are an ambassador of the King. You are an ambassador of our God. Remember that every day. God bless. Go in peace.